4, 3, 2, and 1.
Tired of wiping on the same boss for hours?
Die, insect.
Can't seem to win against that new druid deck?
My thanks to you.
Are your teammates not standing on the payload?
Quit lollygagging. Get on the payload.
Well, grab a drink and pull up a chair. This is the Game Case Show, your Blizzard Entertainment podcast. Here are your hosts, Cuddles and Turarts.
Well, hello! Hi, howdy, and welcome to episode 103 of the Game Case. I am Chris, also known as Cuddles, a Brewmaster monk on Harry Peak in the Convert to Raid Guild.
And I am Turarts, the Beast Mastery Hunter, also in the Convert to Raid Guild in Airy Peak server.
This week, we're going to talk about our week in gaming. We might answer some questions from the Cuddle Crew. And then, we're going to be talking about conventions.
That is right, folks. We're going to be talking about TwitchCon, VerseCon, and BlizzCon. Maybe some predictions with BlizzCon since that one hasn't happened yet. Before we dive into that, let's talk about gaming. Cuddles, what have you been up to the past 2 weeks? Anything exciting, fun stuff?
So, I haven't gotten to play a lot of games because I've been traveling a ridiculous amount. I've been home 4 out of the last 14 days, I believe. Maybe even less. I have gotten to, I streamed a little Rise of the Tomb Raider. We've done a little bit of Warframe. I spent one day just streaming TwitchCon stuff. Like, we just sat around and watched TwitchCon things. But I've been playing this mobile game called Immortal Conquest. So at first there's this competition going on between they're calling it the nerd team and the veteran team. And so there's like a head of the nerd team, and then the head of Stack Up is the head of the veterans team. And whoever wins by December 2nd, whoever controls the most land in this little mobile game gets 15 grand.
Oh.
So I've been doing my part with Stack Up, going in there and playing a little bit. It was funny because at first I was like, oh God, mobile game? Like, really? I'm never going to play this. This is stupid. And now I'm addicted. Like, I'm absolutely addicted. Actually, right before the show, I just sent my army off to help a battle, this giant battle that we have to seize the city on the other side of the map. And it's a lot of fun. It's kind of like Civ, but in a mobile platform with a lot of depth. Like, I thought it was gonna be like stupid little clicky mobile game. It's actually a whole lot of fun. So huge shout out to the guys at Immortal Conquest. I've been having a lot of fun with the game. And shameless plug, if anybody would like to come play it, make sure you join the veterans team, or just hit me up. I'll tell you how to do that. This is a whole lot of fun, and you can play a mobile game and help out a charity. So it's kind of cool.
Nice.
What about you?
Yeah, gaming for me. So today I streamed for like 15 minutes because I was testing some things that failed epically, but it's fine. So Miles kind of showcased his first streamy stream where he created a WoW character for him as I was watching volumes and doing some other stuff. And then he piddled around at the DK area for a bit, not knowing anything at all. But yeah, so that was interesting. I think because a few people actually popped in. I'm like, no, you just go. Like, this is not a real stream. Like, just go away. Don't watch this. But they stuck around for the 15, 20 minutes we were on. So yeah, that was exciting. But did that. I've been, that 5-year anniversary, guys, is coming up quick for CTR. So I've been doing the pet runs and gathering stuff like that. We have a ton of great donations, and I'm still... Between now and January 20th, we'll mention this every single show. If you have donations, let me know. Hit me up. I will take them. Other than that, a little bit of PUBG. And I have been playing Warframe lightly for July,
Okay.
August. not very heavily, like very lightly, like I still don't know what I'm doing. And then everyone comes back from TwitchCon and everyone's like, Warframe. And I'm like, I feel like now I'm jumping on a bandwagon, but I was doing it before it was cool. But no, I relate everything to WoW, and I feel so bad, but that was my first game, and I feel like when you have a first game, you relate things to it. Some of the things I'm like, this is kind of WoW-ish.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's 100% free. Well, you can buy stuff, obviously, but you can play for free. It'll take you a while to get there, but you can do it, which is awesome.
No, Warframe is a lot of fun. And this new, have you gotten to touch any of the new DLC, the Plains of Illidan?
Not yet. No, I haven't touched it. Like I played it because I saw Commander Human playing it before we had him on the show. So it was like, it might have even been June. And so I played a few hours of it, and then I'd pop it on every now and then. And then I don't think I've touched it since like August.
Oh, wow.
So it's like I very lightly played it, but I was like, this is fun. It's a good game to kind of, if you want something different, but still you know what you're doing, you can play. Like I don't have to, like Elite Dangerous was like, you have no idea what you're doing. But Warframe, you still can, like, it's button clicking and running around, and like it's WoW kind of.
It is. It's like WoW if WoW were Space Ninjas.
Yeah, it is Space Ninjas. But no, it's exciting. But everyone's jumping on this train. I'm like, if I start like playing it hardcore, people are gonna be like, oh, you're just jumping on this hype. I'm like, whatever, don't even care. But no, so that's been fun. But it's all been just prep for the CTR BlizzCon party, which we're gonna talk about soon. But oh goodness, guys, less than a week.
Oh my gosh, don't. I'm so not ready. Like, I'm so ready for BlizzCon.
You're
I'm
ready
so
for
not ready
like,
to get back on a plane.
a week and a half from today when you're coming home. Not that you want to skip over BlizzCon, it's going to be amazing,
No.
but just to be home for a little bit.
Yeah, so I was sitting in the I left VerseCon last week, or words. I left VerseCon, it wrapped up like last night, probably about 10. And then I helped tear everything down. And by the time we were done with that, it was about 1 o'clock in the morning. So I got back to where I was staying, and my flight boarded at like 6:20. So I was like, I'm not going to lay down and chance like passing out and missing my flight. So I'm just going to go to the airport. So I got to the airport at like 1:35. So like several hours early for my flight, which, by the way, anyone that has ever been to an airport ever, why can't they have anything for you to lay down on? Like all the chairs with the little metal like armrests, and you have to sit up straight, and it's like all sorts of uncomfortable. Like it was horrible sleeping in the airport. But then I stayed up. I watched Netflix until my flight. I like caught a wink and a nod of sleep on my plane. And as I was landing, I popped open to make sure my bag got on my next flight, right? So I popped open my Delta app, and it's like 1 hour or like 1 day, 12 hours until you check in for your next flight. And I was like, you son of a bitch. Why? But no, I like, other than not wanting to travel, like super, super hyped for BlizzCon. It's always going to be an absolute blast. And since I'm already talking about conventions, why don't we just dive right into it? Because I don't think we had any questions tonight.
Nope, no questions today. So
People don't want to ask us anything? What the heck? Come on.
Oh, I did a bad job at spamming because we kind of were last minute as to what we're going to do and who we're going to have on. But let's go into questions. This is not questions, but the first topic that I don't really have a lot to contribute to. So I'll ask you. Let's start with TwitchCon. So that was 2 weeks ago now, 2.5-ish weeks.
It wrapped up exactly a week ago.
Wrapped up a week ago. Okay.
Yeah, so last weekend. TwitchCon. So for those that don't know, for those that listen to us on iTunes, or maybe aren't big into the Twitch world, TwitchCon is Twitch's version of BlizzCon. So it's their con put on by them for their streamers. Super cool. Bunch of vendors there. A bunch of the creative community was there, which was really cool. They have a thing called the Creative Corner where they have all sorts of artists, and we bought some like handmade leather stuff. There's a bunch of cool art, a bunch of cool. Oh my gosh, I'm totally What are the little bunch of cool like
Cosplays.
perler stuff?
Yes.
Some amazing cosplay. If you're into cosplay and haven't seen the TwitchCon cosplay contest, go back. It should be highlighted on twitch.tv/twitch. Go and watch that. Their cosplay contest was phenomenal. Also, with that, huge shout out to a member of the Blizzard community
Yes.
for winning one of the categories there. Little Sparks was it a Chromie cosplay?
It was she always does Chromie. It was a Chromie like Lich King, from what I understand.
Okay.
Because the next one she's gonna do is gonna be a like a Chromie genie. She just tweeted that out earlier. But yeah, my understanding with my interactions with her and just watching what she does, which is brilliant by the way, she's always Chromie, but she does Chromie in different like ways. Kind of like how Fabelina has Faye and she always draws her differently. Like she'll have
Oh
yeah, I think that's what she does with Chromie.
okay.
Someone correct me
Beautiful.
if I'm wrong, because I don't want to
Airports
be
make
wrong.
Thule has told me why airports aren't comfortable, by the way. Thule in chat. Hey, Thule, I love you. I wish I was going to see you soon. I miss your face. Airports make more than half their income from sales. You're less likely to buy anything if you sleep. Well, then. Thank you, airports, for keeping me up, because I was hunting for breakfast as soon as they opened.
Yeah.
Which otherwise I probably would have slept and got on my plane. So point well taken. But no, Chromie's cosplay, Little Sparks cosplay was phenomenal. The one that the person that actually won, which, like, I don't know, people that are into cosplay, I would love to hear some feedback. Hit us up on the show Twitter or shoot us an email. So the guy that won is actually a professional prop maker. And his cosplay was phenomenal. It was from Gears of War. It was absolutely like mind-blowingly awesome. However, like I don't know, is that normal in the cosplay? Like is that kind of just the next level of cosplaying, or like I don't know, it would be like doing I don't know, you're doing like a boxcar race and like Dale Earnhardt Jr. shows up.
Well,
Or is that
I
just
get
like
where
you
you're
get
going
good
with
enough at
that.
cosplay and you become like this guy owns a professional prop store. Like that's what he does for like I don't know. Or I guess a better question, is there like an amateur and a professional level of cosplay, or does it
I think so, because you'll see like women amateur categories. So I think like he's not going up against someone like me. I would never cosplay, but he's not going up against someone like me. But I get where you're going. You have this guy who does this for a living, entering in a competition, and then like what's the prize? I guess like, I don't even know what the prize is.
so the overall winner I think was $15,000.
Okay, that
And I mean that's kind of my question. Like this guy like legitimately does this for a living.
Is it fair
Presumably has a shop, and I don't know. Like all like credit to SKS Props. He was the winner. His cosplay was some seriously next level stuff. But I'm assuming, like when I heard SKS Props and like this is what he does, I'm wondering, was there like 8 other people working on this to like put it together? Which I guess anybody could do. I don't know. It just seems totally not involved in the cosplay like scene at all. It seems like I think of like Weta Workshop or like George Lucas's little that I can't think of the name of.
it's kind of well.
Like
I was
what
gonna make a
happens if
point.
they get involved? Like why would I show up in like my gender bended Junkrat that I made in my garage that I worked really hard on versus this guy that like had his staff put something together? Or I don't know how that works.
It's kind of like if you had they have the like indie film festivals all the time, and you have like George Lucas in his studio create a film for that. It's like what I get where you're going. Is it comparable to that? I don't know. I'm not in the cosplay world, so I'm not sure what the criteria is. If anyone in the chat knows or anyone listening, please email us. I don't know what the criteria is, or I don't know what they do. I'm just not in it enough.
Yeah.
These would be good questions to ask our guest in 3 weeks, Kaz and Frosty.
There you go. I was gonna say, please remind me to ask Kaz and Frosty how cosplay works, because that was the only thing. Like, now again,
It was amazing cosplay. Like, it was brilliant.
the cosplay was incredible. It's not like it's like I'm taking nothing away from him, but like I was sitting there scratching my head, going like, how do you even compete with that? Like, what do you do? Like, I don't. For me, I feel like it would be very frustrating. But I don't know. Maybe that's part of it.
And what they said, Chyber brings up a good point. With a prize that big, you're bound to draw in some pros to compete. So he has a prop shop. I mean, is he doing like professional things for movies though, or is he just like, this is what he does as his hobby? Because if he does it as his hobby, like, it's his job, but it's not like he's.
Oh yeah, well it's like if I don't know, I worked on cars. Like I'm not an engine shop that produces professional. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not Roush Racing. I'm just like a guy that tinkers on it. So I don't know. Like I want to be very careful before this guy comes after me, because he looks massive, at least in his cosplay.
He did an amazing job. Like, he won. He did great.
Oh hell yeah! And I will. Let me see. Can I pull this? I think I can pull this up on screen. There we go. There's the actual. I'll make this a little bit bigger. This was the winner. From Gears of War. This was an incredible cosplay. I wish I had a video queued up of it, because him just moving around it moved perfectly. Like phenomenal job. But now we've been talking about cosplay for 10 minutes.
We have, but let's talk about, so TwitchCon was, well, it's a big deal. TwitchCon was big. You went to some parties. How were the parties? I heard some of the lines were kind of fun.
So the lines everywhere was a little nutty. I think that was one of the biggest complaints coming out of TwitchCon was, so this was a new venue for them. And they've done this each year. The original TwitchCon was in San Francisco. Then they did San Diego. I wanted to say San Diego Comic-Con. They did the San Diego Convention Center, which is the same place that holds San Diego Comic-Con. And that ran, I thought, very smoothly. This year they did the Long Beach Convention Center, which is, I would assume, a little bit more affordable. And I believe the rumor was that San Diego Convention Center was already booked, so they had to scramble and find somewhere. Lines were horrendous getting in and out. And then the lines at the parties were all insane. They had the Discord party one of the first days. And generally, a lot of these industry parties are a lot of, like, it's industry people. It seemed the one weird thing about TwitchCon for me, parties-wise, is normally, so like at a PAX East, it's like, hey, what party's going on? Like, oh, well, there's this one and this one, but everybody will be here. TwitchCon was very much like everybody was going in 8 different directions.
Oof.
And then I think because of the amount of parties that happened, I think some of the guest lists were a little broader than they normally were. And I don't say that to, I'll put it this way. At the end of the night, after the Discord party, I saw 2 people get arrested, 3 people passed out on the floor inside of the building, and probably 4 or 5 people vomiting on the street.
Oof.
Which is normally not a thing after these parties. So it was, I don't know, it was kind of interesting. It was the Discord party was like a little weird. They started closing down. So it was at the Long Beach Aquarium, which was a beautiful venue. But they allowed us outside, then they shut down outside, then they like restricted the top level to like certain people. It was, I don't know, just everything about TwitchCon outside of it just felt kind of weird. And I think it was very much because everybody was trying to find their place, since it's like BlizzCon coming up. Perfect example. Wednesday night, there's TitchCon. There's a bonfire. Thursday night, there's Calm Before the Storm. Friday night, Wowhead will have a party. Discord will have a party. I don't know, something about, I think that convert
That
to
CTR thing
Yeah.
maybe going on.
yeah, well play. I don't know. They can't decide on a name. I don't know what to call it anymore.
Oh God, I can't.
But no, they're going to be having a party on the second floor of the Hilton. But everybody goes to the Hilton. Like, you know that. And then the Hilton starts playing DJ music and everybody goes to the Marriott. But it's like, it's weird having a convention that hasn't been in the same place. Kind of nobody knew where to go.
There isn't a home base, it sounds like. And
Yeah.
the home base that there wasn't well planned.
Yeah, everybody was like very much all over the place. I would not at all be opposed to TwitchCon being in Long Beach again, but I would love to see TwitchCon. I would love to see TwitchCon choose a venue, and have it be there and let us build our traditions.
I think that's part of what makes a convention feel like a convention. That sounds so ridiculous, but BlizzCon's always in Anaheim. You always know this is what you can do, and I think like San Diego Comic-Con's always at the same place, so you know I'm gonna stake out these restaurants, or I'm gonna, once this party's done, we can go to this bar, or we can. And if you switch venues, people don't have that chance to, especially people coming from like out of country, out of state. Like, you're going in blind basically every
Yep.
year.
Well, that's what I think. Earlier this week, I had tweeted out. I tweeted something about Anaheim, and somebody mentioned. Oh no, I was gently poking fun at my lovely wife, because she asked me. I guess she was watching on. She pays attention to the Twitters, and she's going to be coming to BlizzCon this year. And she was like, "So where's this restaurant that everybody's talking about?" I was like, "What restaurant?" She's like, "I think it's called KBBQ." And I was like, "Oh no." Oh no, Korean barbecue is not a restaurant, sweetie. Like, it's
That's
a
a-
thing.
It's a food type.
So I pointed that out to her, but it was like I immediately knew. Like, I could tag. I think I asked Elvine and Artemis. I was like, "Where's the good Korean barbecue?" And so from them, and then from like 8 other people that saw it, of course, like, I got answers. But here's the thing: from those 8 people, I got 2 different answers. Like, and that's the beautiful thing, is there's these 2 places in Anaheim that everybody knows is awesome, and I don't know, I guess a lot for one of the things that I really enjoy about conventions is tradition, and just knowing like, hey, I'm going to Boston, I'm gonna go hang out, I'm gonna go hang out at this bar, I'm gonna go eat it, like I'm gonna go eat at Larry J's. I'm gonna go to Faneuil Hall, and I'm going to go do the Old Man and the Walrus and have a lobster roll. Like, I know where the parties will be. It's very much like, okay, this is what's happening, and you kind of know. The one thing outside of TwitchCon is it felt very chaotic. Now, however, inside, TwitchCon did a great job. They did an absolutely lovely and amazing job. One of the things that I had a big part in was the Tiltify charity decathlon. So Tiltify they selected 10 charities and raised over $120,000 through a couple events, and then that all got split between those charities, pending the winner of this big competition. So they did silly things, like they had Commander Human and DJ Truthsayer and Resurrection Fern teamed up for Stack Up and had to do a jingle for a random product that they were handed. So they had to do a jingle about a spiraling earwax remover.
Oh my God.
Somebody else had to do a jingle about a spatula. They had a mystery, like a get blindfolded and eat weird stuff and guess what it is contest. They did like huge shout out to iCasper and his team. They had some really, really fun events. And also gigantic shout out to Resurrection Fern. She did about a 30-minute set for Stack Up and actually won her segment. And Stack Up ended up winning. So we were the
Nice.
we're the champions of the charity decathlon, which was really cool. And getting to see, if anybody watches my Twitch channel, you've probably heard me talk about Resurrection Fern. Getting to see her in person, like, was just, it's like your favorite artist that you listen to on the radio, and then you get to go see him in concert. Like, it was really cool. But yeah, that's since I just rambled on a whole lot about a con not having traditions and having places to go, we could probably move on and talk about where I was this weekend.
VerseCon, let's talk about that one. Yeah, what? I haven't heard of VerseCon until you mentioned you were going however long ago when you're like, here's my October schedule. And I was like, okay, God, what are we going to do? But no, what is VerseCon? What do you do there? What happens there? Give the deets to those of us who may not quite know what it's all about.
Okay, so VerseCon, speaking of conventions and traditions, this was the very first year of VerseCon.
Okay.
So it was and hey Totem, how you doing, bae? VerseCon is a community-run convention based around the game developed by Cloud Imperium Games called Star Citizen. So last year they had done their big convention, so think like BlizzCon, but for Star Citizen. They had done it in LA. And this year they decided that they were going to do it in Germany. So the moment they announced that they were going to do it in Germany, there were a couple people in a large player group that were like, hey, we should just have like our player group meet up and drink and watch this thing. Well, that random conversation that they had turned into, okay, we're organizing a con. So this was very much, I think there was around 200, maybe 250 people there.
Nice.
Very like intimate convention. It was right off of 6th Street in Austin, Texas. If anybody's familiar with Austin, evidently 6th Street is like Austin's version of Bourbon Street. It's like a complete and total shit show. Excuse my language. But it was super cool. There was a bunch of employees from CIG there, all sorts of members of the community. And so the first day they simulcasted the German event. So we just like all sat together and watched CitizenCon. So think about getting like 50 of your friends together and watching BlizzCon together. And then the second day they did a bunch of panels and did a few tournaments centered around Star Citizen, and it was super cool. I was very pleased to have the opportunity to be there. I was there representing Stack Up. They're huge fans of the charity and wanted a charity out there to be a part of the convention. We were the only ones there. They talked about us. Like I was on 2 of the panels. That's
some great PR for you guys.
Oh, it was so much fun. They had so they kind of ruined me. There's a gentleman by the name of Clifford, aka Miku. He streams over on Mixer. You can find him on Twitter. Just search for aka Miku, Miku. Super cool guy. But he brought his full 4K like gaming PC setup. So like super high end AMD thing, an NVIDIA Titan X graphics card, and then had a 32-inch 4K 144 hertz monitor. I didn't realize video games could look that good.
Cuddles got spoiled.
Seeing PUBG in 4K, I was just like, that's not the game that I've ever played. But no, it was super fun. It was very, like I said, very intimate compared to all of the conventions that I've done this year. So the convention broke at like 10 p.m. on Saturday night, and we all stood around. Luckily enough, I've been involved with the Star Citizen community for quite some time. So like I knew it was all like it was hanging out with a bunch of friends, not kind of showing up weirdly for a work trip. But I think we probably had 30 minutes of cleanup to do in the venue, and it took us probably about 2.5 hours because we were all just like standing around hugging each other. And
Aww.
I have to say there are few communities that I would compare to the WoW community in terms of love and support and things like that. Like many video games pick up kind of a toxic, shitty community, if we're going to be perfectly honest. The amount of love. So there was, I'll throw out one example really quick, and then we'll move on to BlizzCon stuff. So they had a 2v2 like PvP tournament. So 2v2 spaceship teams shooting at each other in Star Citizen. They only had one trophy for each team, and these trophies were handmade birchwood replicas of some of the ships in the game. Like,
Oh wow.
absolutely over the top, gorgeous. A member of the community probably put dozens, if not hundreds, of hours into each one. And one of the teams that won, it was the team that actually placed in first. So they had this very large birchwood replica, and they hand it to him. And one of the guys immediately looks at his teammate and goes, "Here, you deserve this."
Oh.
And handed it to him, gave him a hug, and walked off. Another guy, he had a poster that was signed by somebody that accidentally got given out, and I'm sure nobody even realized that it was signed to someone else. At the end of the event, the organizer quietly grabbed one of the banners that they had and had all the volunteers and everybody that had helped out sign it, and then presented it to the guy, simply because they had misplaced a poster.
That is amazing.
Just the amount of love, so huge shout out to VerseCon, all the people involved in that. Special love to Pyro, Commander Z-Man, Astropub, and I'm forgetting a lot of people. But it was an incredible experience that I was very grateful to have. Now that I have rambled on for nigh
That's
on
fine.
30 minutes, why don't we talk a little bit
flower
about
out of
BlizzCon?
Play-Doh.
I want a Play-Doh flower.
Oh, I love Play-Doh. But yes, let's talk about BlizzCon. So we're going to mention this again many times, probably in the next 20, 30 minutes. But Friday night, there's this thing. It's called the CTR Party, and I think we're sticking with that finally. I think. We finally picked a name. It's happening Friday night, guys. And Cuddles, the purple neckbeard that you see before you, is going to be your live stream host. Now, it's a unique event at BlizzCon because it's one of the after parties, and you get to come kind of be a part of it. Cuddles is going to be interviewing people. Last year we had Jules and Pat, COD Squad. Darius was on there. I think he may have had a little bit of bubbly. Celestalon was on there, which was amazing to have him on. Who knows? I'm really banking for Ian Hazakosis this year. That's my throw in to see if we can have happen. But if you can't make it to BlizzCon, you can come hang out with me at the live stream. I will not be on camera yet. They might tell me 20 minutes before I BT dubs this is happening. But
You're
as
on
of
cam
yet,
now.
as of yet, I am not on camera, but you get to hang out with me at twitch.tv/convert to raid. We're going to be in Discord this year chatting. So yeah, it is a ton of fun. It's a great event. And like I said, it's pretty unique, I think, for most conventions because it's a very intimate look into BlizzCon, and you never know who's going to show up on the camera with Cuddles. Sal's on stage doing stuff. We have a dance competition. You never know what cosplayers are going to be there. So yeah, it's a blast. So come hang out. 8 p.m. Pacific, that's 7 Mountain, 6 Central, or no, 8 p.m. Pacific, 9 Mountain, 10 Central, 11 Eastern. If you live outside of that, figure it out on your own. Twitch.tv/convert to raid. But yes, let's talk BlizzCon. So you get in a flight in 32 hours? 37 hours?
Hold on. 11, 12, 24. Hold on. 24. Oh my gosh. Don't ask me to do math live.
What time
I
do
have
you leave?
I have to be on a flight at 8 and it's now 11. 8 a.m. on Wednesday morning.
8 Wednesday. So you have all of Tuesday and all of Wednesday. So that's actually 48 hours.
Yeah. I have a little under 72 hours to be there.
You have, you have 60 hours.
Yeah. I
Less
get 3
than 60 hours.
sleeps. 3 sleeps.
Cuddles is looking forward to sleeping in his own bed for a bit.
I really am. I slept on the floor at VerseCon.
What?
Part of working for a charity, I could have, and I'm sorry, I'm backtracking, but part of working for a charity was, I told them I really wanted to be there, and I was like, listen, I'll save money, I'll crash with somebody. The only thing I could find was a floor. So I forgot to get a picture, but I wanted to get a picture of I brought a sleeping bag. I wanted to get a picture of my sleeping bag on the floor and put #charity life. But that's what you do to save a little bit of money.
That is. I thought you meant like a floor at the convention, and I'm like, no. Then you explained it. I'm like, no, he bunked with someone. So that was
Yes.
more the shock. I'm like, did you just sleep at the convention?
They gave us a table, and I just crawled under the tablecloth every night and just laid on a pillow. No pillows.
Now, BlizzCon, like you've mentioned this before, the BlizzCon community is pretty unique. Like if you are a Blizzard fan, I think BlizzCon is something you need to figure out how to make happen and make it happen. What are you excited for? I guess I know you don't have a ticket, but there's still tons to do without a ticket. We talk about that all the time.
Yeah, I am. There's a little bit of like, man, I really want to go in for the opening ceremonies. Which, if you are going to BlizzCon for the very first time, let me be very clear: get a ticket. Like, get a ticket, figure it out, be in there for the opening ceremonies, experience that. Please do that. But if it's like I can't go because I'm short,
$200 or whatever the ticket is.
now pro tip: after people after people receive their digital goodies, oftentimes they'll sell their tickets for much cheaper. Last time I looked, I saw tickets without a goodie bag and any of the digital stuff going for $130.
Oh, it's not bad.
So a little bit cheaper. But no, there's so much going on around BlizzCon. I'm sorry, Blizzard. You can totally show up without a ticket and have the absolute time of your life. Where do you talk? I mean, there's Con Before the Storm. There's
DitchCon, the CTR party. Is there anything Saturday night? I never hear anything Saturday night.
the Hilton.
Just the Hilton Bar.
The Hilton.
Just hanging out with the amazing DJ. That last episode, if you missed it, we talked about how much everyone. Well, no, DJ gets to go. DJ has to go.
The Hilton. I would forever love the Hilton if they just never did that again. I don't get it. I don't understand who's asking for that DJ, and I don't understand where they're getting positive feedback to bring him back for multiple nights, unless it's legitimately like, we don't like these nerds and we want to punish them. But
there's a Marriott across the street, I hear. That's lovely.
Well, that's the only thing that they're doing. Oh, yes, Tiber. Excuse me. The AIE Guildhall, which while Convert to Raid does a party, AIE has a guild hall that is open each day, and it's kind of awesome. But no, the DJ seems to be like the Hilton saying, "Oh, we need to help the Marriott across the street. We'll send a few people over there." Because I can remember my first time at BlizzCon, like the Marriott wasn't really a thing. Like there was a few people hanging out over there, but I think they had the DJ maybe one night or not at all. But then when I went back, they had the DJ like 3 nights, and everybody was at the Marriott. But no, BlizzCon, there's plenty to do around, and there's plenty to do in the area. So if you don't have anything to do during the day, like there's Disney, there's the beach, there's great eating, and just like sitting around and chilling. Last year when I woke up, I just went over to the I just went over to the Hilton and like sat in the lobby and had lunch, and then like all of a sudden there's people sitting with me. BlizzCon is a convention that if you're at all a Blizzard fan, you need to make it a priority to be there at least some point in life. See, no, Alessandro. Okay, so the DJ from Game of Thrones, they had Hodor, who, forgive me, I'm not going to remember his name. And yes, there's breweries, there's Unami Burger, there's all sorts of stuff that you can grab a couple friends and going to do. The Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, one of my favorites. In-N-Out Burgers there. Korean
That's
barbecue.
how Cuddles eats.
Oh my God, I love Roscoe. So I'm really disappointed in myself. I was in California last weekend, in Texas this weekend, and I've yet to have In-N-Out or barbecue. I had no barbecue this weekend.
You are failing. You are failing.
Yeah, I'm very disappointed. But Alessandro, the DJ from Game of Thrones was outside. That was a Blizzard sponsored
That was the
thing.
Diablo party last year, wasn't it?
Yes, and that was
okay.
out in. If you've ever seen a picture of it, it was so there's the Anaheim Convention Center at the end of the road, and then the Hilton on the right, and the Marriott on the left. If you're looking at the convention center, and there's this like road leading up to it, which it's from. Actually, if you're watching on the live stream, facing that direction of our background, there's like a nice little walkway. That's where it was. And that was kind of cool. But then you walk into the Hilton, and they also have the little Ricky. Theory, how are you doing, Bay? Dropping that epic fail emote. I love your face. But yeah, no, it was. I'm really looking forward to BlizzCon. Go ahead. I'm sorry, I'm talking a lot.
No, you're fine. This is, as much as I love the conventions, I have like zero experience. I think I went to like a local convention, but zero experience with this. So I love hearing about it. My question was going to be, what is first time goers one thing, like, have to ignore the ticket? What is one thing you have to do?
So, if I was to say one thing,
Yep,
I would
you'll
say take a moment, at least once a day or several times a day, and realize where you are, and really experience that. This is gonna get like kind of hippie, like live in the moment. But take a moment and like take a breath and let the excitement and let the kind of overwhelming, oh my gosh, look at all this stuff going on, because you're going to be overwhelmed, at least partially. Take a moment, whether it's standing at the Hilton bar with a bunch of your guildies, or walking back from the convention at the end of the night, and appreciate just how unique and just how wonderful an experience like BlizzCon really can be. There's something very, very special about hanging out with your tribe, and unfortunately, we don't, as internet peoples, in chat right now. I have a friend that lives in Sweden. I have no idea where Totem lives, and I feel like I should. I have a friend that lives like 45 minutes away from me, but I never see him in person. There's literally people all over from the world just in our chat right now. Take advantage and realize how special it is to have a couple of those moments together with those people. That would be my biggest piece of advice. I mean, there's always like, oh, drink water, take breaks, like stay hydrated, eat food.
That's common sense stuff. You should be doing that all the time anyway.
But
like,
nobody does.
Drink water, eat food. As a non-BlizzCon goer, I will give advice because that's what people do. Don't be afraid to say hi. And everyone says this. Everyone does. But like, if you think Cuddles and I are intimidating, like I'm the last person you want to pick on your team if you're going for intimidation. Like, it's not going to happen. I'm not at BlizzCon, but just using the hypothetical here. Go say hi. Physical touch, keep aware. Some people are cool with it. Like Cuddles is totally bear hug. Some people aren't. So just kind of go with what they say, but even just a hi, and tell them, although it sounds really weird, tell them how much you appreciate or love what they do, because as podcasters and content creators, we need that. Like, we need our little buckets to be filled with praise. So do that.
You have no idea how much it means to somebody. If somebody has made a difference, or somebody has made you laugh, or tell them, let them know. For the most part, a lot of your content creators, or even your guildies, you're talking into a mic, and yeah, you get some feedback there, but there is nothing like standing in front of somebody and telling them, the difference that they made in your life, or the, hey, you're Totem. I love the things that you do. Like, you're pretty awesome. Also, didn't realize you were in Chicago. Kind of awesome. Chi-Town, baby. Oh, no, because the Cubs. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you need that.
That makes sense. Yeah.
But yeah, even like, I don't consider myself on the level of like a Jules or a Pat Crane at all, or Scott Johnson. So like, even people like that, or people like Celestalon and Ian Hazakosis, they come to these parties, they go to the Hilton bar or maybe the Marriott now to see you and say hi, because this is a once a year thing for them. They get to go hang out with their coworkers like 364 days a year. So coming and seeing you and saying hi, and telling them, I love the expansion, or I love podcast launch pad. I'm trying to roll things off the top of my head and it's failing, but go tell them that. Like, they will appreciate it, and you have no idea how much it's going to brighten their day. And yeah, don't be scared. Just do it.
Yeah. It's these people would not come out to this event if they didn't want to interact with you in some form or fashion. T, since you mentioned physical touch, I'm gonna bust out a soapbox for half a second. I'll keep it brief. There's been a lot. So I will, by the end of this year, I think it'll be 13 cons for me this year, which is ridiculous and stupid, but beautiful. I am a hugger. Like I my name is Cuddles. Like obviously that's, that's pretty obvious. There are plenty of people that are not huggers, that are not comfortable with touch. Ask, be like, is it okay if we hug? That's not a weird question, guys.
Nope.
And also, guys and gals, unwelcome touch is not a good thing. Even though no matter how many times that you've joked with that person in your raid about butt touches or whatever it is. So CTR is a very family-friendly guild. However, if you have ever been in Discord with any raid team or Mumble, generally raid teams tend to skew a little bit away from the family-friendly.
They do. It's amazing. But yes.
Remember, those are people in the safety of their own homes saying things. It's not an invitation to anything, nor is your favorite content creator in any form or fashion owe you any sort of physical interaction, no matter how large of a supporter you are of them. There's been a lot of very, kind of like disturbing things happening at conventions, and I will leave it at guys. And it's always pointed towards guys, but guys and gals, don't be creepy. Don't assume that somebody is, if somebody is open to you touching them in what may be considered an inappropriate manner, they'll tell you. They'll let you know. If you hey, can I? Literally 2 years ago, there was a lovely young lady who may or may not have guested on this show recently.
I know who it is. Never mind. Okay.
Like our last episode, maybe. That asked what I was wearing under my kilt. And with a kilt, a lot of times people think that is not an open invitation to grab my junk. But this young lady asked, I was like, yeah, go ahead. And butt touches ensued. Very platonic, very like nothing. Like there was a touch of my butt. And that is okay. Now, random person walking up, putting their hand under my kilt and grabbing my ass, not an acceptable thing. I will let you guys in on a secret. At BlizzCon, if you want to ask me what I'm wearing under my kilt, it's underwear. Like literally, because I don't trust random BlizzCon people. Do not like flip my kilt up or do something silly, and it's weird that I have to think like that. Generally, I would leave it a mystery, but it's one of those things you're in public and people act weird. So everybody just be nice and don't be creepy. I'll leave it at that.
For real. Because they can ask. Because like you said, it's not a weird question. If you could be like, high five, fist bump.
Yeah.
There we go. But yeah. Any predictions for BlizzCon?
Okay. I actually had a lot of conversations about this over the last few weeks. Because I've had an amazing opportunity to hang out with a bunch of Blizzard friends already. I got to I didn't mention this about TwitchCon, but I got to see Terran.
I know, I saw the picture.
He recognized me. Like
lucky ducky.
I was like, all right, I get it that you recognize me in my kilt at BlizzCon. Like you were expecting to see me there, blah, blah, blah. But to like see him at TwitchCon and have him realize who I was. I also had a chat with Lore, who was also there. Although he was like, his hair was pulled back. He was in a suit. He was like, it's kind of like incognito. So I didn't bug him for a picture.
Low-key Lore. Love it.
But like, Terran was wearing his Legion shirt and his goggles. So it was like, I'm obviously Terran Gregory. I tried to get some tidbits out of them. They gave me nothing. Gave me absolutely nothing. I think we're, we'll see a Hearthstone expansion.
I
Like,
think we're getting a
it's
new
time.
WoW expansion too.
What? I don't think so.
I think we are. They've already laid out not last year, but we're getting a new patch. Argus isn't the end. We know that already, so they can't really announce that. We know that. I think, and you had that leak with 8.0. We talked about this on the Converted last week.
Yep.
I think we are getting a WoW teaser. I think we're gonna know the expansion 100%.
I don't know.
I think
don't-
we are. What else
Well-
are they going to do with WoW? We know what the end game is. They've laid out the map for the rest of 7. 7's old news.
Well, and I mean, there has to be something for WoW, because like you said, they have talked about all the things. I don't know, the fact that we have seen leaks
Yeah.
is that's I guess that's a pretty good confirmation, because Blizzard, I love what you do. You're an amazing game like studio. You do great things, but damn it, you can't keep your lips shut.
I think it's
Like,
on purpose.
leading up to BlizzCon.
I think it's 100% on purpose.
You think it's to build the hype train?
Oh, God, yes. I mean, you're renouncing sub races. I mean, there have been people who are like Dead Alliance, Dead Horde. Like, if this is real, I'm switching. Like, I want to be I can't think of any of them off the top of my head. I know there's elf variation stuff. There are people who are 100% like, I'm Horde for life. I'm moving if this happens. Like, I think they know exactly what they're doing. They've been around. They know the game. I think they know exactly how to play us, and we play into it every time.
Void elves. I don't.
That's one of them.
And it's I would love for that to happen. If we're getting a WoW expansion, I'll be perfectly honest. I missed this leak. As we talked about earlier, I've been on a plane and at conventions
Oh, you did, yeah.
for the last couple weeks. I didn't even see this. So can you tell me a little, like, what are we seeing?
Yeah. Sub races. Wow. Yes. Okay. So basically what happened was last week 8.0 dropped on the tester, and then it went away. It wasn't very long, but 8.0, something happened where 8.0's data was there. So there was enough stuff that people were like, oh my God, guys, this is happening. And then something that leaked was some sub races, because some things have been data mined. And
that sounds about right, because Blizzard, it was, while I was at VerseCon, we were actually talking about it. I was like, well, what are we getting? Because I hadn't been able to pay a lot of attention to what was going on in Star Citizen. I was like, well, are we gonna get like a Blizzard, like, all right, well, we're gonna be doing this, and this, and this, which I love it when Blizzard does this, by the way. Like, we're gonna give you this, we're gonna give you this, we're gonna give you this, and it's playable on Tuesday when you get home. Like, I love that. So I'm sure we don't get an expansion on Tuesday.
No. So what we have, the 4 things that have been talked about, which are Nightborn, which are where Highborn elves, Void elves, Lightforged Draenei, and High Mountain Tauren. So those are the 4 kind of sub races that were talked about. And I think how it went was that the Tauren were with the Horde, of course. The Draenei were with the Alliance. The Nightborn, I want to say, were Horde as well. And then the Void Elves were Alliance. Yeah, Nightborn, I think, are with the Blood Elves. And then the Void Elves, which people are freaking out about, loving, looks like it may be Alliance coming. So that will be interesting to see. But it's data mining. It's all stuff that they could just be recategorizing things. They don't know. But there's a ton of people who are like, this is it. Blizzard knows what they're doing, though. I mean, they could be leaking this. This could be people are like, this is a big deal. This could be the little announcement on top of something that's ginormous that we don't even know about yet. This is just a sliver of the pie that they're going to drop on us.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, I feel like you may be right in that they're totally, like, this was entirely on purpose. Because
yeah.
Every year we get a leak about what's going to happen. Like, every year we know at least a fraction of it, but then they always have something to surprise us.
I see.
So kudos, Blizzard, for leaking things.
They have to tease you in. They have to. They tease you in. It's going to hype up the virtual ticket sales. It's going to hype up people who are actually going to come to the opening ceremonies. I don't know why you miss it, but it's going to hype it up. I think you're right. We're getting Hearthstone. It's just been Hearthstone's been strong. You have the people who love it and they play it and they keep playing it. Hearthstone's going to be good. Overwatch will probably get new maps, maybe some new characters announced, or maybe just some tweaking of characters. Not quite sure what they'll do there. And then Heroes, I think we'll get some new characters. I think we'll find out for sure if they're going to put Destiny characters in Hero, yes or no, at BlizzCon.
Oh my gosh, I would actually love that.
I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do.
I would like it. I would like to see. I would like to see more kind of. I would like to see Destiny become part of the fold. And I'm sure there are people at home that are screaming at me right now, that it's not a Blizzard game and blah blah blah. I kind of like it. I like it. I think it would be fun.
My opinion on Destiny, I honestly don't care. I don't play it. It's not something, whatever. I think it's Blizzard testing the waters. I think they've reached kind of a cap of things they can do with their game style. I think they have. I don't know what else you can add. They have a pretty well-rounded base between WoW and Heroes and Hearthstone and Overwatch. I mean, then you have Diablo and StarCraft. But I think this was them testing the waters to see if they can acquire other things and incorporate it to what they already have. I'm not saying Blizzard is out buying things like Disney does, but I think that nothing for Diablo 3 is a hoax. I think there is going to be something with Diablo announced. That is my opinion. There has been too much hype around Diablo for there to be nothing.
So I'm gonna pop this up full screen really quick. These are the banners going up. And it looks like it's full. It looks like there's not room for another banner up there. And I say that because the big rumor that I've heard is that there's going to be a new IP announced.
There might be, but you could fit another banner up there. You could make these ones smaller, like if you really wanted to.
Yeah, but I mean, can they do that on the fly after the con starts? I mean, that's the thing. Like,
I don't think you can.
I think it's going to be the rumor that I keep on hearing over and over from people everywhere that I've been is that there is going to be a new IP. That we're going to see a new IP, and it may be a mobile IP.
That I would be okay with. They haven't really, Hearthstone has mobile, but they haven't really branched into mobile.
So there's two rumors that I've heard, and then one thing that I would actually like to see happen.
Okay.
So Warcraft 1 or 2, or like something like Lost Vikings, some sort of classic Blizzard game brought to life on mobile.
Okay.
Those are the two rumors that I keep on hearing. The thing that I would really like to see, which I'm surprised that they haven't done, is Heroes. Why is Heroes not on mobile? Like, there's MOBAs out there that have proven that MOBAs can work. Like, so think about it. You use your right mouse to click around, and then you have some abilities at the bottom. Other than like one or two other minor interactions, that could be very easily done on a cell phone screen.
How much though would it take as far as like data and stuff like that? Because some of those maps can get intricate, having to like go down into the mines. And I know there are mobile games that are quite intricate, but from a Blizzard standpoint, how much do you lose from having heroes like this when it comes to graphic character abilities, models, things like that, to going to something like this? Like, I don't think Blizzard will put out anything half-assed.
You know what? No, if they're gonna do it, when they announced Overwatch, and Thule, that's what. So Thule pointed out that when they announced Overwatch, there was a spot open. That's what I'm thinking. That's the one thing that makes me wonder if there's going to be. They wanted to do a mobile on mobile, they would just limit the lanes. And in total, I'm not saying that they should. I don't know. It seems like it would make sense. But that's the same thing. If you guys have been watching or listening for a while, I was all throughout WAD was whining and complaining about why the hell weren't our garrison dailies on my mobile phone.
Yeah.
I really think people would have been a lot less salty about garrisons in general if that's something that you could have done on your like 5-minute break at work. And we saw in Legion that they could give us a mobile app and let us do things on the phone that correlated in game. So why they didn't do that with it? Like, I don't know. When I saw Garrisons, I was immediately like, this would be a really cool mobile game.
Oh yeah.
And maybe even give you some unique way to interact. Like you could go and like click extra time, like tap on it. Or I don't know. I'm not a game dev. But I feel like there was something there that they missed out on. Obviously, Blizzard makes a heck of a lot more money than me, so maybe they have it figured out. But so we're thinking maybe something for Diablo?
They said no because it's not on the schedule. There has been so much hype with Diablo because you had the Necromancers drop this year. They had they're remastering it. I don't think it's going to be left out. I don't, because Totem put that thing in there. I don't know if you saw it, his BlizzCon status that he linked in chat.
Yes.
Diablo says, I went to BlizzCon, all I got was a banner and 2 panels. I think that there is more to the Diablo story. I do. I really think that there is. It's one of those, like StarCraft. I don't play StarCraft. I don't care what they're doing with StarCraft. Diablo doesn't die. People love Diablo. I think we're going to be surprised.
So
I really do.
I'm gonna go left to right on the tweet that he has. We'll skip Warcraft because we've been talking about that. StarCraft, I don't know. I don't speak Korean.
I don't know
that
what they're
might
gonna
be
do.
unintentionally racist, but I don't follow StarCraft at all. I have no idea. Diablo, I think we see something. I think it would be really weird if we see nothing. There's going to, even if it's a tweak to Necromancer or a new, I don't know. They have to say something about it. They don't have so many games that they can't mention Diablo. Hearthstone definitely getting an expansion. Can't wait to see what it is.
Oh yeah.
Fingers crossed for Murlocs. Heroes, new maps.
Yep.
Duh. Overwatch, new heroes, new maps. And heavy on Overwatch League.
Tweaking. Yep. I think there's going to be some tweaking to characters in Overwatch too.
Yeah. And I mean that's gonna be a constant, consistent thing, but I think they'll probably announce something big.
Well, that's like when they did Gamescom. They announced what Roadhog, Soldier 70. I don't know. There's like 3 or 4 characters that like this is changing. So I think they might have that 3 or 4 characters that were like we tweaked these, we realized they were OP, something like that.
See, and Simperfi just hopped in chat. Hey, Elvis. Elvis has been with me at TwitchCon and VerseCon. Wonderful supporter of Stack Up. Great guy. Leads our Austin stack. He has said they have a new mobile game in the works that he's sure that, and this is what I keep on hearing from everyone.
Is there's a mobile?
And no, I haven't heard this from any reliable sources. Well, not that Elvis, sorry, you're reliable. Like no dev has whispered it into my ear at 3 a.m. at a party. However, it's I'm hearing this from too many people. I'm hearing this from way too many people for a mobile game to not be a thing. It's a very loudly whispered rumor. So I'm excited. And Simper, I think you were the one that had floated Warcraft 2 at me. And I don't know. I mean, mobile makes sense for them. I don't know how excited I would be, but I want to see something. Like, what are you going to do to blow me away this year, Blizz?
We'll see what happens. See, I noticed that too, that they do have, they had that on their career listings unannounced, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. And of course the esports stuff, they're always making that bigger and better. And you have the Firestones and all sorts of stuff. So I think they know exactly what we're doing. And
so I'm sorry, I'm stepping all over
no, it's
you.
Cool.
The mobile hiring thing. Tiber made one of the points I was going to say is Blizzard moves at Blizz speed. So soon TM, maybe BlizzCon 2023. Which I say sort of derogatorily, but at the same time, Blizzard gets things right when they do them.
Oh, they do. That's why it takes so long sometimes for things to happen.
Yeah, they don't hire like 3 guys from China and slap together a game and send it out to us. Everything that I've ever seen Blizzard, even in beta, felt like a polished game. I remember playing Overwatch beta, and it was like, this game's done. What do you mean? Or no, it was even technical alpha, I believe. Or no, Friends and Family. It was Friends and Family beta. And I was like, this game is done. This is silly. Just give it to us. So the fact and unannounced mobile game could be something tying into their current games.
Yeah, say to kind of be just like pet battles. It could be like, hey, you could do like some daily pet battles in WoW. Like it doesn't necessarily mean a full blown game. It could be something completely ridiculous off the wall like that.
Yeah, it could very much be an add-on to one of their other games, and they just don't want to talk about it. However, I'm really excited to see what I will be sitting on I will be part of the virtual ticket crowd. Sitting like 250 feet from the actual announcements. But I will probably be sitting in the Hilton. I actually, if anybody in chat knows that, I know that some years they will, some years they won't. Does anybody know if the Hilton is going to be showing the virtual ticket? Sometimes the hotels will actually play it in the lobby. I'm very, very curious to hear about that. But one of the things I want to T said a lot of really nice things earlier about me and hosting the CTR party. For those that aren't there, Turarts does a phenomenal and incredible job, and I couldn't do what I do behind the mic if it wasn't for her. I'm 100% like totally like I need T to be at a convention. Like this needs to happen. But I was thinking about that. I was like, hold on. If Turarts is at the CTR party,
who's gonna be me?
Who's gonna run the chat room? Like it would be totally like I don't know who would do it.
That was something I mentioned to Jules. I'm like, next year may be the year that we need to rethink who is at home. I'm like, because we've relied on me for a few years now. I'm like, but it might seriously be the year where you need to go like, who can take that over for a year?
You know what?
We'll see what happens.
You know what I would love to do is co-host the actual party. Like
That'd
you
be
and
fun.
I actually do that together. Because
That'd be fun.
We've never been in the same place together, much less like done this in one place. I think that would be, or that's the year that I get to have a few drinks and Turarts hosts the party.
That's the I'm like, hey, bitches. I can't say that because it's live stream. But yeah, so we'll see what happens. But next year, Jules and I had a talk where we both had some just business stuff to go over with. This is what's going to happen. And I was like, just heads up, next year might be the year we need to think about this. We'll see what happens. But yeah, no, it's all the excites. Come hang out with me. CTR party Friday at 8 p.m. Pacific. That's 9 Mountain, 10 Central, 11 Eastern. Everything else, add or subtract what you need to. It is a great time to feel really included. That virtual ticket's great. I never get it, but I find out the information. I'm like, people will tweet it.
And if you're at home, if you're and I don't think we've ever done this before. I don't like. There's no planning behind this, and maybe people are already doing this. Why not like have people get into like guys jump into CTR and jump into one of the voice channels if you're watching the virtual ticket?
I think
are people already doing this and I'm just unaware because I'm there?
We just started Discord, and as weird as this sounds, because it feels like Discord's been around forever, CTR Discord only started last August, and I only know that because I had to hop into GroupMe, and that was when Pat was like, "Hey, we're ditching GroupMe and we're going to Discord." So I think this year there may be a channel in the CTR Discord if you want to talk about stuff like that, or just hop into like a general and just throw people in there with you.
Yeah, guys, if there's an official CTR channel for it, for those that are in CTR, I will probably be there. If not, if anybody watches my stream or isn't in CTR, I may be in. I'll just jump in general Discord in my Discord, And if you guys want to watch the opening ceremonies together, like let's watch the opening ceremonies together and let's have a good time. I may live stream and I may do like an IRL stream of me watching it. And like we can all sit in Discord and just have a good like just because you're not there doesn't mean you have to watch it alone.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
If you have someone in CTR, just hop in game and be like, hey, who wants to talk about CTR stuff? And there is a because I just created it because I needed to do it anyway. There's a CTR BlizzCon channel, voice channel. Use that. I'll be kicking you all out at like 7 o'clock, and then you guys can come back in on Friday. But use that during the event. Talk about it, things like that. No, it's for those that can't make it, and I don't talk about this often, and we're not going to talk about this a lot. This week sucks for me because there's nothing like spending 8 months planning a party you don't get to attend. It does. But you don't have to be alone. I think I do a pretty good job at hiding it. Come hang out with us. Come be there. Just from last year, the chat was amazingly epic. The year before, I was in and out because I had a sick child. I got smart. Child goes to grandma now every year. Then I don't have to do that. But come hang out. If you just want to lurk, you can lurk and listen to the interviews. It's a great balance between having real people behind the mic and then seeing the actual party. We do camera spreads of everyone there. You can find people by their hair color, by their kilts. We pan up to the stage and you get to see Sal talking to the crowd. Jules gives a speech. We crown our kings and I don't know if we have queens this year. We might have kings and queens. And then we have a dance competition. There's prizes thrown out. There's prizes for the live stream. I can tell you some of them are pretty amazing. I have a rule. I do not sign up for any prizes ever that is given away as far as giveaways go. I am so tempted this year. I won't because I want you guys to have the prizes. But sweet baby Jesus, it tells you something. They are great prizes. If you can't go to the convention, you are not alone. I had a tweet about this. It sucks. It's awful. This is the hardest week of the year. Don't spoil other people's fun, though. Be happy for them. Don't be grumpy. And then come hang out with us that night. 8 p.m. PST, twitch.tv/convert to raid. We'll be in CTR BlizzCon voice channel.
Yeah.
I think that's it. And if you need to rant, you can rant to me because I know what you're going through. I get it.
This is if anybody's noticed that I'm a little off, it's because I hate this episode.
Yeah.
Because I know what I'm next year.
We did this
Next year.
Hopefully. We always say that, but I think fingers crossed.
I will stop by where it is that you live and like grab a burlap sack and just wrap you up in it and crudely tie it and throw you in the back of a train. Like, and then I'll twirl my mustache and go, no, it's, for those that like, to put this in perspective, guys, I think when Legion launched, we were up to like 10 million subs just in WoW.
Yeah.
And that's not even counting Diablo, Heroes, Hearthstone,
Now
Overwatch, and that other one, StarCraft. That's it, StarCraft. I only did that because I see Draven in chat. There's only 35,000 people going to this. Do not feel. I know it very much can seem like, oh my gosh, I'm the only one that can't make it. You're not. No. You're not. There's a very fraction of the fraction of the fraction that goes to this. There's much more of y'all at home, and find those friends. Hang out with T. Come to the chat. If you see somebody at the party you want me to talk to, let me know. He wants to talk to T.
He likes being on camera.
But yeah, we do have a Turrets to BlizzCon fund. Turrets will be at BlizzCon next year. Probably. Hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. But yeah, I think we've covered the cons pretty well. We could go on for a long time. Trust me, we could.
Oh.
Last minute. Oh.
Before we say no, I do have. Well, I think you were about to ask me last minute tips.
Yep, last minute tips. That's what I was exactly going to ask.
I'm going to finish your sentences. So 2 two things that are very apparent, and we kind of joked about not saying them. But guys, make sure you eat. Make sure you drink plenty of water if you're going to be at BlizzCon. It is very easy. One thing that I make a point to do while I'm at conventions is make sure you actually eat a reasonable meal. Like, it's so tempting to like hit the Viking dog and then go get some Roscoe's chicken and waffles and then have like an unami burger with all sorts of like massive amounts of junk. Like, at some point, like, go get yourself a salad or like
We'll have
eat
a
a
smoothie
like a
with chia
like a,
seeds.
yeah, like eat a grilled piece of fish. Like, I don't know, whatever that healthy meal is for you, make sure you sneak in a couple of those. Deodorant, yes. Don't just bring it, wear it daily and shower daily.
I know Cuddle said this. Hydrate. Like, don't drink water on Friday morning and think you're good. You should be drinking water tomorrow.
All day
Start
long.
drinking water tomorrow. Drink water Tuesday, Wednesday. Start drinking water. And I am the biggest, like, I can't sleep Christmas Eve still, and I'm 28 because I'm so excited for Christmas Day. Try to get some sleep the night before you fly out, whenever that happens to be. If that means going to bed at 4 o'clock in the afternoon because you fly out at 4 o'clock in the morning, you will. Having done a lot of things, I have traveled a lot for different things, not conventions, but other things. You need to do that. Comfy shoes, yes, comfy shoes.
Pro
You're gonna
tip.
walk more.
Pro tip on the shoes, and this is gonna sound weird, and you guys we're gonna see comments in chat. Preparation H. Take some Preparation H, put it on your feet every morning. It will dry your feet out, or not dry them out. It will keep them from creating moisture and also kind of tighten your skin. It is an old event. Like, the people that run these conventions, those people are putting Preparation H on their feet. It actually works. You won't get blisters.
Walk in your shoes starting tomorrow. If you bought new shoes, you need to wear them in because you
Yeah,
are
don't
gonna
wear
kill
new
yourself.
shoes.
No. Start
And
wearing them now.
socks. If you're
Yes.
if you're a sweater, bring an extra pair of socks and switch. Like, my feet sweat badly. That's why I wear sandals.
There was I think it was Alessandra made a comment that I'm not intimidating because I have a mom voice. That carries over to my life. I am a mom because I have a kid. But no, like, I will have things. I will have socks and Purell and like tampons and pads and all sorts of stuff because you never know what you're gonna need at this convention. Pack up because that aunt can come early and it sucks.
Guys, you ever want to be a hero to your favorite female guildie, carry some tampons and pads with you.
Yeah, I say no. Just have a little over the satchel, like my purse. I pull out all sorts of things. Like, if you want games, I have cards in there. I have dice games because you'll get bored. But no, this is a big event, guys. Prep for it. Tell people hi. Tell them you appreciate them. Don't smell. Lots of Purell. Tons of Purell. Go get your flu shot. I think.
Don't try to touch your face as little as possible. I know this is something I'm very bad about because I like rub on my face or like smooth out my mustache. That's one of the, even if you're, so wash your hands as often as possible. But even if you're not doing that, don't touch your face. Like, don't get your
Talcon.
like,
Yes, don't touch your face. It is like, if you are a guy, and especially if you live with girls, if you have a significant other, no, it's not creepy carrying tampons. Like 100%. As a female, like, no. Like,
Now-
if that's
that being said, for the guys out there, don't wander around offering tampons
No.
like they're free popsicles.
no, but you can.
But
Especially-
if you ever overhear a conversation, like, you'll
Yes.
be sitting there and one of the girls will be like, "Oh my god, does somebody have a?" Like, yeah, actually, I do. You just made a friend.
You did. You have made a best friend for life.
Yeah.
But yeah, especially like if you have a significant other, a wife or something that she's sitting here and she's like, "Oh nope, it happened last week." Just pack them and don't even tell her. Pack them and don't even tell her, because as a female, you can have it happen on the 1st, and all of a sudden on the 7th, it's happening again, and you're like, "What the hell? What the hell?" They are mysterious, cruel things. Now we're turning into weird stuff, so I think we
I know,
should.
right? Also,
Kids,
hold
just
on.
have fun.
Zeph did point out, and kids, please, if you're going to play safe.
Yes.
Prophylactics are a thing. The con
tried.
crud is a descriptor of a cold that you get over. You don't want to get any other sort of con crud. So prophylactics, children.
fun tip, not fun tip, but fun factoid. Sal and I tried to get the CTR Party Kickstarter to have a tier that included a BlizzCon survival kit that would include condoms. It didn't happen. It got to some weird conversations about other things that you can brand with CTR logos, but
okay, so I really want to now see a gold condom with an Alliance head on the tip, and then like a black one with a Horde symbol, and you can handle anyway.
It's just to have fun, guys. Like, don't be afraid. And this comes from the biggest introvert you know. If you think you're an introvert, I beat you. Like, this isn't a competition, but I beat you. Have fun. Say hi. Consensual touches. Take pictures. Like, I think people forget how important that is. Take pictures. Like, don't be living through your camera. But if you see someone, like if you see Cuddles and you're like, oh, hey, quick selfie, takes 2 seconds and you're done. Like, take pictures. Don't be afraid to ask an Ian or a Celestalon or a Pat or a whatever for a picture.
These people are here to be seen. Like, don't be obnoxious, but grabbing a picture with somebody is definitely something you can do.
It is.
Also, I do. There's one more thing there that Elvis actually dropped in chat. Don't roam alone. Like the gnome says on the TV, it's dangerous to roam alone. Grab someone with you. And we've mentioned not being creepy several times. I'm 6'3". I have purple hair and neck beard, and I will be wearing a kilt for the majority of the weekend. If you are a male, a female, or any other designation, find me. Find me. I will be at the Hilton. I will possibly be inebriated, but I am large enough that I will walk you anywhere. Really and truly, there are plenty of people around like that. If it's not me, find me and I'll find you someone.
Oh yeah. And if you're like, hey, I'm going to get food, just announce it and you'll have 6 people who will be like, yes, let's go get food together. Like, don't be afraid to like play by play.
Tuuli had a wonderful point here too. Having a power bank with a cable for all possible adapters will make you friends for life. Tuuli, you have charged my phone before. We were already friends for life, but it did. And yes, pictures do ask if it's okay to take a picture.
Yes.
This was actually a huge deal at TwitchCon. There were a bunch of people doing IRL streams at parties, and generally at the after parties, that's where people like cut loose. They relax. They're having fun with their friends. You know, it's after work time. And then a bunch of people like sticking camera. If you stream, don't think that it's okay to IRL stream and just walk into people's faces. If you're going to try to do a successful IRL stream at this event or any event, I would say have a handler. Have somebody with you, and if you want somebody to be on camera, have somebody else go and ask them off cam if they're comfortable with that. I know like a lot of the Blizzard employees, they'll take a picture with you, but they're not going to come. Like I had to get special.
Hoops we had to,
Yeah, I had to get special permission, which quite frankly, it was like somebody texting somebody and somebody going, yeah, sure, I don't care. But that step had to be taken in order for Celestalon to sit down with us last year. A lot of these guys, putting them on cam may put their job in jeopardy. And it may put your attendance of BlizzCon in jeopardy. You want to find a real good way to get kicked out of a convention? In fact, one of the people that I saw arrested at the Discord party was because he had been IRL streaming and the venue actually trespassed him. Because he was asked not to multiple times and kept on doing it and kept on getting in everyone's face. That's a thing that's happening now, guys. But here we are beating up dead horses.
We are. Just have fun, guys. Have fun.
Have fun. Have a good time. Hug me.
Cuddles is a hugger. You already have permission to hug him.
I'm a hugger. And if you ask, I'll probably let you touch my butt. That's the thing.
I think that brings us to shout outs. Cuddles, you probably have a list like 6 miles long.
Oh my good Lord.
Everyone that went to TwitchCon and BlizzCon.
Yeah, I can't even get started. Everybody that went to TwitchCon and BlizzCon, special shout out to in the chat, Simplify873, or Elvis. He was with me at both of those. I think I mentioned it earlier. He runs the the local stack up group in Austin, like all the way up to Fort Hood, all the way down to San Antonio, a large little swath of Texas. He's a wonderful, phenomenal, and amazing guy that I've gotten to spend a lot of time with. And I get to see again in at BlizzCon
In 72 hours.
Yeah, about that. Also, like, just anybody and everybody that was at either one of these conventions has spent any amount of time with me, or that I missed and I didn't get to see. I will be all around BlizzCon. If you're going to be there, please find me. I want to meet you. I want to know you. I have no clue why anyone would ever be like, well, no, Cuddles doesn't want to. Like, my name is Cuddles, guys. I want to see you. Like, please. And for those that are staying at home, like, know that we all want you there, like, really, really bad. And if there's, I don't know, there's nothing I can say. I know the feels are real. I've had to sit behind for things before, and I don't know. We love you. And take advantage of things like the live stream, and
It's
take
free.
advantage of things like Discord, and like make your own little BlizzCon meetup. Like grab your guild and go like, hey, who's not going to BlizzCon? All right, we're watching the virtual ticket. Rabbit.io or rabb.it allows you to stream things to up to 25 other people. Wonderful website. We do it for movie nights. I'm sure you could get the BlizzCon virtual ticket to work with it. Maybe, I think. But if you can, like, just immerse yourself in the community. And you will find a BlizzCon like experience, I promise. Shout outs for you, T.
Shout out to the CTR party planners, guys. We're down to a week. It's almost done. There's so much that goes on behind the scenes with this. And people who are doing comment for anyone that's planning a party for BlizzCon, hats off to you, because it is a hell of a ride. I've had Draven and Jermaine's and a ton of people donate stuff for the CTR 5-year already. Thank you guys a ton. If you have donations, please let me know, because we do a raffle where everyone gets a prize and it's free and it's exciting, but it's a lot of work. So hit me up if you have donations in game or outside of game. We've had people who donated a digital, whatever goods they got at BlizzCon. They bought 2 tickets and they didn't need the second pair, so they just said, I'll mail this to someone. That happened 2 years ago. We've had people who've donated like ahead of the curve runs, things like that. You can think outside the box, get creative, hit me up. And then there is now a voice channel, CTR BlizzCon, and the CTR Discord. If you're not going, if you have the BlizzCon kit or the virtual ticket, if you don't have the virtual ticket, you can hang out there and talk with people. Because here's the thing, we're nerds and we get excited. So you can guess as soon as it's announced what's happening, there's going to be Twitter details about it. So you're going to know even if you don't have that ticket. Shout out for Cuddles for being my co-host for this live stream. We got this.
And really and truly, like, I couldn't do the live stream without T. Like, she does all the amazing, wonderful things, like in the chat, doing the giveaways and shooting me messages and reminding me to go grab somebody. Or this year, like, I'm really excited for this year, because T and I have definitely been, like, we have more ways of contacting each other after having been on the show for a while. So, like, now I know T can immediately get a hold of me for something. And I'm really excited. And we're going to be better set up with chat and me being able to read it. Like, I think the first year, like, I don't think I saw chat.
Yeah, the first
Like,
year
at
I
all?
wasn't in charge of that. Someone else was in charge of it because Miles had some things. And then last year, did we get it set up so you could see chat? Because I think that's how we got COD on, was because people were like, we want COD. Like, we want COD.
I think I have my cell phone set up.
Okay.
But this year I'm gonna have my iPad fully charged. Like, I'm gonna be ready.
Perfect. We needed
and I have you. Like, now we have each other's
Yeah.
like phone numbers. You have me in Discord. Like, we'll figure it. Like, there's an easier line of communication between the two of us.
Perfect.
And Cuddle Wife will be there.
So that'll help
if you
too.
can't get a hold of me, shoot Cuddle Wife a text. She'll come over and say something to me.
As long as the mics, because we had problems, like 2 of the mics died last year. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, the mics are dead, guys.
all the
So
technical difficulties.
every year.
But yeah, no, we will have a lot of we'll have a lot of fun at this party, and I may or may not have a couple surprises up my sleeve.
See, and I don't even know about these guys. So
So guys,
I think we've showed.
that's the show. So leave us those all-important 5-star iTunes reviews, guys. If you enjoyed what we did, if you liked the show, leave 5 stars for the game case. If you didn't like what we did, leave 2 stars for BlizzCon is garbage. Go to TennoCon, which is entirely a podcast that trashes BlizzCon in favor of the Warframe Con. I don't know why they would do that. It seems very elitist. Sometimes I don't want to be a space ninja. Sometimes I want to go on a poop quest. So 5 stars for the Game Case show, 2 stars for the other failed joke that I tried to make. I don't know. Sometimes these things work. Sometimes they don't, guys. T, say bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to The Game Case Show. Be sure to follow us on Twitter. You can find Cuddles at The Game Case, Tourarts at Tourarts, and you can find the show at The Game Case Show. Join us live Sunday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/thegamecase. Archived episodes are available at youtube.com/thegamecase. The theme music for the show is Celtic Impulse by Kevin MacLeod of Incompetech.com and is licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0.